Physical silver really is the only way. You know, I've talked about this in the past in a lot of videos, but I wanted to go over it again and do this live. We're doing the live stream now. When I think about the history of gold and silver, you think about where it went wrong. How did we get to where we are now? How did this happen? How do we have these IOU notes as our money? The problem always comes back to trusting a custodian. If you really think about it, that's been the problem every single time with precious metals. We trusted a custodian, the custodian ran off with the precious metals. Point blank. So when I hear about this argument of, oh, well, we could have a blockchain-based gold, right? I think how ridiculous. This has been the problem every single time. What are you going to do? Trust Brinks? You're going to trust the government again to hold the gold and silver? Who are we going to trust to be the custodian to back the gold and silver to the blockchain? You know, physical is the only way. Physical really is the only way, and I want to reiterate that because we have gone through the same thing multiple times, and at this point, it's just who do you want to trust with that IOU note? You know, because at this point, we used to have collateral. It used to be an IOU note from the government, and they had collateral of our precious metals that, you know, we trusted them to be the custodian. But now there's no collateral, and they just print it away like nobody's business. More IOU notes, more IOU notes. Here's some IOU notes for you, some more for you, and some more for you, and you too. And let's do another 3 trillion of them. Why not? More IOU notes for everybody. But wait, what about us that have been, you know, working really hard and saving our IOU notes? What about us that we've been working really hard and we've been saving our IOU notes? Now you're just giving them away like candy. You mean that my IOU notes that I've been holding and trusting you with for this long have been this devalued while you just print away more of them? What is this? What custodian did I trust here? You know what? I want my metal back. Wait, I can't get my metal back. What do you mean? Oh, well, 1971, we decided to just run off with the gold and silver. It is what it is. Physical is the only way. Physical is the only way. And people are talking about, you know, utilizing these forum boards is a very beautiful thing with Reddit and all this stuff going on. I think what it's doing is exposing holes in the system. It's exposing holes in the monetary system, and we need more of that. So to the people that made a bunch of money on GameStop, bravo. Props to you. You know, you exposed a hole in the monetary system. To the people that made money on the AMCs and all these different things where they exposed where these hedge funds are way over leveraged on their short positions, bravo. What about exposing that the entire currency supply itself is back to nothing and is diluted beyond repair? Seems like a noble cause, you know? Bravo to the GameStop. Bravo to the AMC and whatever you're working on now over there at the Wall Street bets. What about exposing that the entire currency supply that the whole stock market is operating on is completely diluted and beyond repair? People really want to get back at the big banks. You really want to get back at JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, all those guys, all these big banks, right? And before I get deeper into these videos, I have to say I am not a financial advisor, and everything I say in these videos could be completely wrong. It's just for education, entertainment purposes only, just my opinion. Disclaimer. But if people really wanted to get back at the banks, you know, hypothetically speaking, you take your money away from them from giving them free loans. Every single one of us that gives our money to the bank is giving them a free loan. Saying, hey, here's my money. All I want to do is just, you know, on occasion be able to use it. Give me a little debit card. That's cute. Beautiful. You can do whatever you want with my money. No problem. No problem. It makes me sick that every time I try to get a loan from a bank, they want, you know, 8%, 12% plus, you know, but I've been giving them a loan with so much of my company's wealth, so much of my wealth. I've given them these free loans at what, 0.0 what? But when we want a loan back from these big banks, oh, you got to jump through every kind of hoop that you can imagine. And then when you finally get through all the hoops that you've jumped through, they even make you want to do like a collateralized credit card. Oh, here, let us hold on to 10,000. We'll give you a business loan of 10,000 against your 10,000 that you let us hold. And if you're late, we'll charge you a lot of interest on that too. And oh yeah, we know you can't fail on it because we have your 10 grand. And we want interest on top of that too. On top of getting able to use your 10 grand against that collateralized credit card, we want interest on top of that collateralized. It's like, I'm a pretty good negotiator. I'm a pretty good negotiator. I've been negotiating for, I don't know, 6 years straight in my business. That's what I do every single day. And these guys at the bank, there's one thing I can tell you. We got the bad end of the stick in this deal. You know, these deals don't work in our favor as citizens. You know, they're not even reserve banks. We give them the money. They can do whatever they want with it. They can. And the worst part is you give them the money and then they leverage the money. They don't just get to use our money. So if I give them 100 grand in my capital, right? And they go, okay, Mineral Exchange has a $100,000 account with us. They can take that 100 grand and multiply it through loans and actually leverage my money. They're not only a reserve bank, but they can then leverage my capital and then not only take the money and do whatever they want, but then use that money to further dilute the dollar. They are the real printing press, the commercial banks, because they're giving out loans that if they default, well, what happens here? It's a house of cards. It's a house of cards, and it's just this unlimited printing press of money. And for some reason, we're being told, oh, the economy's fine, everything's good and dandy and all this. But to get back to physical precious metals, I think this is just my personal opinion and just speaking hypothetically. What happens if competition, which I'm a capitalist, you don't know that already, I suggest looking through some of my videos, I'm a capitalist to the core. What happens if competition ends up coming to currency? I'll repeat, what happens if competition comes to currency? Because there hasn't been much competition there. And it seems like, you know, with a digital, I think it's a digital yen now, right? They're going after it. Bitcoin's jumping up. You know, I know it pulled back a little bit, but it's still holding a very lofty gain on the year, if you could imagine how much it's gone up. But I think that there's real competition coming to the currency realm. And I'll tell you one thing. If I was a betting man and I was betting on what currency wouldn't be a good competitor, I'd go, oh, the one ran by Yellen and Powell. There you go. Let's definitely, who's their competitor? Who's up against Yellen and Powell? Oh, they're up against them? Oh, definitely bet against Yellen and Powell. Definitely don't bet on them. They don't know what's going on. We got bingo players running the whole monetary system over there. Easy money, bet on the other team. That's how I look at it. And what happens if the dollar hypothetically loses reserve currency status to some other currency? Does it expose things? Absolutely. Absolutely. What would happen? That would mean the dollar could crash and be valued at its true value, which it's basically, like Michael Saylor would say, is holding on to an ice cube that inevitably there'll be nothing left. If you're holding dollars, the certainty is that over a period of time, there's a burn rate. And that burn rate might be so exponential that you're left with nothing but a melted ice cube. And so I look at dollars in the same way. I always used to use the hot potato analogy, and then somebody in my comments like, no, the ice cube analogy is a better way to go. And I agree. It is like an ice cube. But back to the silver situation, if you hold physical silver, you have money out of the game. You've taken money out of the game of this huge digital game of what is charades? I don't know what best analogy I can use for this, but if you pull it out, what better way to get back at the big banks than to not let them hold your money? If they're holding your money, give them a very small amount. And then what the people should do is say, hey, we don't believe inflation's at 2 point some odd percent, like Powell said. We think inflation is more like 10%. Last time I checked the gas pump, last time I checked my building supplies, things are skyrocketing through the roof because the dollar's devalued through all these stimulus packages you guys dropped. We want 10%, or we're not holding our money in your accounts. You guys want to talk about a real movement? A real movement is saying, you know what? I'm done getting the bad end of the stick in this deal. You guys give us no interest while diluting the dollar yourself. You're the ones, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, giving out loans like it's candy, leveraging our capital against us and diluting the currency, and then on top of that, giving us no interest to compensate for that. It's wrong. It's unjust. It's so many words that I can't even come up with off the top of my head, that I'm willing to stay up at 11 o'clock at night to do this live stream and ramble on this because it's just bothering me thinking about it every day. But I think that there's no more noble of a cause than to demand an interest rate to compensate for the dilution that's happened to the dollar. I'm not going to hold an ice cube with you guys that's going to inevitably leave me with a puddle of water in my hand. You guys got to freeze my ice cube. You're causing it to heat up. You're causing my ice cube to melt. And you're going to give me what for interest on my capital? 0.0 what? Nah, I'm not going to keep my money with you. We're going to put it into physical silver. Wait, but what do you mean? What do you mean? If you guys all do that, we're going to be out of business. It'll be like 2007 and you'll have to bail us out again. Nope. We want you to fail. They shouldn't have bailed you out. Bank of America, you should have went bankrupt. They shouldn't have bailed you out. That's not real free market capitalism. Free market capitalism, when you fail, you fail. It is what it is. You don't go to the citizens to bail out your corporate executives like they did in 2007 with GM and Bank of America and all the others. You let them fail. And that's what should have happened. But I think the real movement is not only, for the price being ridiculously suppressed, but that's a very big reason for it, but also taking the money out of their system. And if you do put the money in the system, say, hey, I want a higher interest rate. That's what I think the movement should really be. The interest rate should be at a level to compensate for what has happened to the currency. That's my personal take on it. And if that's not the case, well, if I'm holding physical metal and I think their dollar is devalued and diluted, which it seems, in my personal opinion, pretty obvious that it's going in that direction, well, it will take more dollars to buy something that is finite like silver, something that is needed worldwide like silver. It's valued in all the currencies. That's what I wanted to talk about. I know people are talking about PSLV being the better ETF. And, from what I've researched, it's pretty good. It's not bad compared to SLV. But the truth is, holding the physical metal is really the way to go. Because at the end of the day, as much as people like talking about Sprott Silver Trust and it's such a great place, PSLV is the way to go, I don't want to trust a custodian ever again. Because that's been the problem since the very beginning. The reason why it's in our actual Constitution, it's in the United States Constitution that no state shall make any money but from silver and gold coinage. It's written in the United States Constitution. The reason for that wasn't just to, make sure. The reason for that wasn't just for, them to say that. It was because they wanted the citizens to have the power to say, hey, we have the money. We have the real money, and if you're going to mess around with the dollar, well, we're going to put it somewhere else. And I have silver dollars, I have gold eagles, and we'll put them somewhere else. But for some reason down the line, we got bamboozled. Want to know how I can prove to you you've been bamboozled? Prior to, I believe, 1958, when you took the side of a quarter and you took the side of a dime or a dollar, right? You took the side of it, it would be silver all the way through. The reeded edge on those coins, people think that's to hold it, right? You think that that's just to hold the side of the coins and it can be easier to grip. The reeded edge on the side of the coin is actually because people would shave off the silver and shave it off and take a little bit off the edges and, you know, mess with them. And then you would be able to see that due to the reeded edge being shaved off. But here's how we got bamboozled. We got tricked. They took the silver out and they gave us monopoly money that has a little bit of like a copper tinge around the edge of it. It's not silver anymore. It's clad and nickel and whatever material that they put in there that's fake metal. Got bamboozled. They said, oh, the money's not back to gold and silver anymore. And the coins, you know what? Let's keep giving them coins so they don't really catch on to it. But let's just fill it with a different metal. So wrong. It's so wrong. It makes me sick to my stomach. And then to see silver being falsely suppressed for this long, it's just bothering me. It's bothering me. And I think that it's just a matter of time before the price just skyrockets through the roof. I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing like $5 jumps in silver. Just daily $5 jumps, just skyrocketing. But the problem is when it does that, it'll be too late because the dealers aren't going to want to get rid of it. They're not going to be able to replace their supply. And the people who actually hold the physical silver are going to be in high demand. The people that have a pile of silver like this, people are going to be begging for it. And that's the people that are going to hold the power in that situation. And yes, the people that have PSLV, they'll benefit as well. But they won't benefit in the same way. The premiums will skyrocket due to the demand. And we're seeing that right now. The premiums are still holding after all of this time. What happens when you start seeing days where it jumps $2, $3, $4? You kind of want to be in the position, not kind of, you do want to be in the position where you got it. You're not hoping and praying on a custodian that they really have it. You're not hoping and praying that that all works out. You're getting the premium jump due to actually owning the physical metal. And on top of that, you have the security of knowing that, hey, this is here. It's here. It's now. I got it right in front of me. And that's what the message that I want to give out to people is just physical, 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 physical. Stack the physical metal. And it's only a matter of time before the dilution catches up to this artificial currency supply. And realistically, it's just a matter of time because I have never seen this fierce of competition among currency. I think that it's a beautiful thing as well. I hope that the competition only increases. I hope that more countries start getting more competitive with their currency. And I think that there's major superpower, countries out there that want reserve currency status. I think they've been looking at the dollar for a long time and they want to take that position. So with that being said, I just rambled for a good minute there. I wanted to do a quick little 20-minute ramble because right now it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm a little bit agitated. If Rob ran his live, let's look at some of the comments, by the way. And by the way, everybody, I told you the live streams were coming back, and I promised you that no expense would be spared. I dumped some serious money into my live stream equipment, so let me know. How's the quality now, guys? We have direct Ethernet connection. I have my own computer dedicated for the live stream. All of the cables are the new, the fancy Ethernet cables, not just a cable I pulled out of the random back of my office here. I got everything brand new so that my streams are on point. We were having really laggy streams for a minute there. I hope that the stream is better, smooth as butter, quality is good. That is what I want to hear. So everybody, the reason that we're going through these premieres, which actually the premieres are kind of cool. I'm going to continue doing those, but we've been missing out on these live streams. I want to do at least one live stream a week. I always say that and we end up doing like 5 of them, so I miss doing these live streams, and now I got it to a point where it's just like click, boom. And I even got this like fancy, it's called like a stream deck or something. Supposedly, when I figure this thing out, I can just click a button and be like, boom, streaming. So I just went all out on Amazon and was like, buy that, buy that, buy that too, buy that. What's that? The Mac Mini thing, buy that too, buy that. And I went in. No sponsors. I just bought it all. That's how I roll in here. It's like when I was doing the testing out the hard wallets for Bitcoin and stuff, just buy every single one of them. Just buy them, get it done. The only link in the bio is my company. I won't have any sponsors. I don't have anything to click on. But hey, let's get to some comments in here. And by the way, thank you so much for being here. It's late at night. We got 190 people in the house. If you agree with some of this rant, please smash the like button. Get this information out to more people. It helps this content get out there. Really would appreciate it if you could smash the like button. But let's go People leave in the comments. I don't even need to say hit the like button. All my fellow silver squirrels out there got my back. I appreciate that, man. MMA fan, hit the like button. Help this man out. Appreciate you, MMA fan. And sorry, guys, I get a little bit agitated. I'm looking at the silver price. Let's do a quick little update on the silver price right now. Silver price is at $25.86, so it's rebounded a bit. It bottomed out at around like almost 24 at one point, and it's rebounded over the past week to get back over 25 with some good steam here. But I'm so surprised. It's so baffling to me to see it sitting there at $25.86 when I know about how many dollars were printed. It just makes me sick to my stomach. You know, it's a matter of time, and I think what it really comes down to is it's like if you've been getting away with as much as the big banks have been getting away with and printing your way out of all the problems, you don't want that to go away. So Bitcoin is a major threat. Silver and gold is a major threat. Anything to take the money out of the system to not trust the IOU notes anymore and expose how diluted the currency really is a major threat. And I should be scared talking about this kind of thing, but you know what? I'm going to keep it going. It blows my mind. This channel, I started it in July of 2020. I was sitting in my office and I went, you know what? There's a lot of these talking hands channels and I got a lot on my mind and I want to start a channel, and I was a little nervous to put myself out there, and out of nowhere from the past 9 months, it's up to almost 20,000 subscribers. So honestly, thank you guys so much. It's just crazy to even say that. I was in my mind when I first started, I'm like, man, I bet I could get like 1,000 people together. That'd be awesome. And then out of nowhere, it was like we had a couple big live streams and the channel just blew up to over right now we're over 18,000, almost at 19,000 subscribers, but we're just getting close to 20,000 subscribers. So that's a crazy number to me. I know there's channels out there with way more and whatnot, but I'm humbled. I'm humbled by it, and so much so that I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to drop the stream isn't working. I'm going to get this dialed in. I'm going to do whatever I can to get this dialed in. I'll upgrade the internet, direct Ethernet cable, buy a new computer setup, buy whatever I need. We're going to get this going because I appreciate you all so much, and really, really means a lot to me that you're here. But let's go through some of these comments in here. I try to make sure I don't miss those super chats. It really means a lot to me. Appreciate that. Boost Earpack, he says, hey Rob, killing it, you the man, y'all smash the like button. You gave me a donation, didn't even ask a question. I appreciate it, man. That's support right there. I appreciate that, Boost. Thank you, man. Yeah, let's get to some comments. Basically, what I wanted to talk about in this video is just how big I am on silver still, and that regardless of the ETF, I want to actually not have to trust a custodian anymore. And that's the way the money was meant to be. The money was meant to be that way. That's why we had silver dollars, why we had gold eagles, $20 gold eagles. And just think about that. That's how much the dollar has been diluted. That's what a silver dollar is around what, 26 bucks in silver, 25 bucks in silver. So 25 to 1. It used to be $1. So 25 to 1. That's how much the dollar's been diluted when you talk about a silver dollar. When you talk about a $20 gold piece, gold went from $20 for an ounce of it to now $1,700, $1,800 for an ounce of gold. Right? That's how much it's been diluted, because that's what your $20 was meant to be before it became an IOU note that was back to nothing. It's like we had collateral and they took the collateral and ran. And now we're supposed to trust them. You know, trillion wasn't a word that was so bounced around. It was like, oh, you know, maybe the monetary supply goes up a few billion or this and that. But for some reason, we're so accustomed to hearing this word trillion. It's like, oh yeah, 2 trillion. Yeah, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 4 trillion, trillion. It's like, this word it's a big word here. This is a big word. Why are we so comfortable saying this word trillion? I don't know. But every dollar that gets printed is your dollars in your savings account getting diluted. Every dollar that they print, it's taking away from the hardworking men and women in the country that are saving their money, putting it in their bank, and doing the right thing They have their 401ks, they're saving, they're investing, they're doing whatever they can to hold their dollars, and they're diluting those savings away. And they think they're helping us. They think they're helping us. Oh, it's a relief package. No, it's not. It's an in-debt package, and it's a dilution package, and you're damaging people's savings in this country. That's what's happening here. Help. Help. It's adding a puppet string to our back, and another one, and another one, and another one. And all I can see is more puppet strings getting attached, and I see Powell's nose growing like Pinocchio. That's all I see around here, but what do I know? Paul Allen, what do you think about Dogecoin? Honest answer. You know, I was adamantly opposed to Dogecoin at like 8 cents. So if I tell it like it is, from the price of it, you got me. You got me, Dogecoiners. You know, you got me. I mean, it's the code in the platform of Dogecoin is what I have a problem with. Like the overall way that the Dogecoin is developed and the whole code of the coin, I don't agree with. I don't like the white paper. I don't like an inflationary coin. It's the entire cryptocurrency market is so new and so fresh that I want something that is developed in a perfect way. And I can't find one that's better than Bitcoin. Like, wouldn't it be beautiful if there really, like, imagine it, put it this way. Bitcoin is like if we knew there was exactly 21 million ounces of silver out there. This is how I would make this comparison. This is actually a really good question. Imagine we knew for a fact there was 21 million ounces of silver out there. Period. There was no more. We knew it as fact. There was complete certainty in it. We had some sort of technological jump and it said, yes, there's exactly 21 million ounces of silver on the planet. That would make the perfect money because we know exactly, or not the perfect money, that's the wrong word, but the perfect storage of wealth. The perfect storage of wealth would be something that you know is ultimately finite. A closed loop system, ultimately finite, it ends. Now you might not be able, because the price of it would go up so much because it's ultimately finite, it might not be the thing you buy coffee with, right? You might not be able to do that, but it's the ultimate finite amount of something that we consider money on the planet that it would have to go up in price, and it would be the ultimate storage because you knew that you couldn't just inject anything into it. You knew the exact amount. So the fact that it's an ultimately finite number is what put me towards Bitcoin because I see it as a layer that can kind of become the watchdog. You know, it's like if people stop trusting whatever currency they're valued in, you can put your money into the watchdog, and it's the universal worldwide internet currency that keeps watch of all the other currencies. It's just another competitor on the field. It's, you know, there's MJ and there's Scottie Pippen and there's, you know, all the different players on the field or on the court in that analogy. I see it as another player on the court. But when I look at Dogecoin, the development of it, the way it was developed, and the just having that many tokens out there. This is a tokenized system. It's not a digital currency. It's like you have these tokens. You know exactly the supply of tokens out there, but they can inject more tokens and more tokens into their supply year over year. You know, as more and more people hype up a meme stock, look what happened with GameStop. Do I think GameStop is a great company? No, I think it's a terrible company. And people that are telling me, oh, they're going to go online based and you don't understand. And this, no, GameStop is a terrible company. Let's be real here. It's a horrible business model. What are you going to compete with Amazon on selling games online? It's the most foolish thing I've ever heard. They have nothing proprietary there. They had brick and mortar stores that made it easy for like game drops and stuff to be in line and get your games and, you know, have a place. What's their business model? You know, pay people 10 cents for their old games and then resell them online. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. But the fact of the matter is a large group of people saw the short interest and exposed it. So with Dogecoin, I see it as, you know, the meme stock is working. I'll tell you what, with Dogecoin, you got the ultimate cheerleader on your team. Like, there is not a better cheerleader than Elon Musk. If on the planet, that's what I was talking about with a buddy of mine recently when it came to Bitcoin. It's like, could you imagine if Elon Musk became a cheerleader for silver? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The thing is, what people really underestimate here, especially with Tesla, is they underestimate how powerful having 55 million Twitter followers. That's ridiculous. That's more powerful than every single TV network combined every single time he puts a tweet out. Like, to put it into perspective, all the networks out there, Fox, CNN, I don't even watch any TV, so I don't even remember what all the networks are. But if you put all of those together, one tweet from Elon Musk outpowers all of them at once. Like, reaches out to way more than that network. All of them, that whole network chain reached out to in that entire day period. One tweet from Elon Musk reaches out to more eyeballs than that entire day of viewers between all of them the whole day. That's Elon Musk. The power of his tweets are ridiculously powerful, and he often probably underestimates them himself. So, I mean, props to the Dogecoin crowd. You know, props to you. I still am not putting any money there. Am I mad that I missed out on a 5x return? Sure, that's congrats. Like, props to you. You know, I still look at the code of it, and I don't like the code of Dogecoin. That's just my take on it. So that's a great question to somebody that brought that up. But I mean, I'm not somebody that's going to just be like, I don't want to be the Peter Schiff towards Bitcoin, towards Dogecoin. And that's kind of the approach that I've been taking, I guess. And it's just that I don't see it being, you know what? It's competition. It's competition. And so Bitcoin is going to be, I only see the need for three cryptos. I know that there's a lot of cryptos out there, but at this current day and age, at this time, I really only see the need for three of them. I see the need for a digital gold that's like a storage of wealth, and Bitcoin is the ultimate. It's the name brand. It holds the majority of the market cap, and it's the perfect place to store the capital. So that's the storage spot. You know, that's how you prove you have a large amount of money in storage. You know, it's designed perfectly for that. But you need something to be a smart contract deployment if you wanted to have something for escrows. So like in real estate and that kind of thing, having smart contract deployment is a very beautiful thing that Ethereum has. So Ethereum would really be number 2. And then I guess number 3 would be something that's a very easy currency to use. And I mean, Dogecoin is pretty much Litecoin with a meme attached. That's pretty much what Dogecoin's white paper is. If you don't know what it is, that's really it. It's Litecoin. It's like a modeled after Litecoin with a meme attached to it. And so if Dogecoin succeeds, I mean, Litecoin would probably drop. Those are the main competitors between each other, Litecoin and Dogecoin. And the fact that Dogecoin is up to like, what is it, 60 billion, 55 billion on their market cap? Hey guys, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not putting my money in it, but congrats to the people that did play the gamble on that and got it. I can't say anything opposed to that. Wall Street Pickers, he said Litecoin sells for 176 per coin. So you see, that's the big problem. That's the big problem right there. When you say Litecoin sells for 176 per coin, the problem is you got to look at the market cap. It could trade. You could make, hypothetically speaking, Litecoin could be 1 penny. It just would mean that there's more tokens out there. So if any stock, with any crypto, with anything like that, you have to look at the overall market cap, not the price, because it's all divisible. So if you look at Bitcoin, you see a coin that's costing, you know, $55,000, $60,000 for 1 Bitcoin. But what that doesn't tell you is that there's a limited amount of only 21 million of them issued. You know, they have billions of these tokens, I believe, with Litecoin. Or not with Litecoin, with Dogecoin. Isn't it in the billions of the amount of tokens out there? So it's nowhere near the 21 million finite amount that Bitcoin has. So it's not about the number. It's not about that, oh, Bitcoin's 60,000 and Dogecoin's only 30 cents or whatever. It's about the overall market cap. It's so important to realize that. And it's just crazy how it tricks the mindset of the investor that might be susceptible to that. You know, you go, oh, wow, it's only at 30 cents. What a great, this thing could easily get to $1. But what you got to look at is, okay, the market cap is actually $58 billion or $60 billion, which is ridiculously overvalued for what it is. Excuse me. But hey, what do I know? I was against Dogecoin at 8 cents. I was also for silver at, you know, in the mid-teens, low teens. You know, I was there. I got that one dialed in. I got Bitcoin dialed in. I was on Bitcoin, you know, beneath 10,000. Those were my big gains. But I missed out on the Dogecoin one. But you know what? I couldn't sleep well at night. When Dogecoin was 8 cents, I wouldn't be able to sleep well at night if I had parked the same amount of money that I parked into Bitcoin that I made over 5x returns on. I couldn't have slept well at night with that kind of capital in Dogecoin. It's already hard enough for me with Bitcoin, but there's no way that I could handle that kind of stress knowing that I don't agree with the white paper. That's how I feel about it. But to everybody that did get it, I mean, if I was in personally, I can't speak for as advice, but in my playbook, and this isn't opposed to you Dogecoin crowds. I know that the Dogecoiners they're a tough bunch. I'm not going against the Dogecoiners again. They got me. They came after me hard. So all love, coming from a love place here. If I had gotten a quick 5x return on something I took a gamble on, my play personally, not saying this as advice, but I would sell half. If you still believe in Dogecoin, you'll get the upside from it. But if you've enjoyed a 5x return, sell half, take that half, put it into silver or put it into Bitcoin or whatever, and make it so that you're riding house's money. That's my personal take on it. That's what I would do personally, not to be taken as financial advice. But that's how I feel about it. But now, you know what I'm doing with this live stream? We got almost 300 people in this live stream. Everybody that I'm spreading my insomniac problem with everybody else. So if I'm an insomniac, you got to be an insomniac too on this channel. It is what it is. But I appreciate everybody for being here. It's crazy I have 300 people in this live stream. I got to keep this one a little short so we can post it on the channel for everybody that missed out on it. But I get inspired at weird times. Like after I'm doing packaging in the warehouse and stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'm going live. Hang on. I don't like missing these super chats. There's a couple super chats. Hang on. That was I rambled for like 10 minutes on the Dogecoin thing. Ultra Baron says, do you think we will see the squeeze this year? I mean, honestly, we already kind of have, and I think it's only continuing because the premiums are holding up. Usually you'll see a big demand jump and the premiums will jump with that, and then eventually the premiums kind of fizzle out. But what I'm seeing lately is the premiums are holding and demand is increasing. So what that tells me is, I mean, it's on. I mean, I think the more physical silver that gets drained from the vaults and more people want to be the custodian themselves and not trust a custodian, the power is here. This is where the power is. I know that this is, good amount of silver here. It's got 1,000 ounces of silver right here. And I know that this is where the power is. I have it in my hand. It's right here. That's what I hope more people start doing, because that is actually, I have my bank account right in front of me. There it is. They're not playing with it on the stock market. JP Morgan or Wells Fargo, their traders aren't playing with my money, giving me nothing on it. I have my capital in front of me, and this is a hedge against hyperinflation. So I know that my ice cube of money isn't melting when I have it here. When I give it with them, it's just melting away and they're getting to do whatever they want with my money. So I think that it's still on. I think that it hasn't, if anything, it's only gaining momentum. And the Wall Street silver guys, they reached out to me because they wanted to do an interview on this channel. I haven't been doing too much interviews, and I haven't done any interviews on the channel, so I have to figure out how to do them first. But I figured out how to get the live streams back online. I think I could figure it out. But I'll get back to you. I think it was Jim that reached out to me or something recently on LinkedIn or something like that. I'll get back to you. If you're somewhere out there, I will get back to you. We'll make it happen. But if anything, their Reddit page is growing in numbers. My community is all about physical metals. And so I kind of am a bunch of different categories. I'm also in cryptocurrency. Sometimes I'll just ramble. That's why when you go to my channel page here on YouTube, it says, let's talk money and stuff, because I'm a rambler. It is what it is. But they did reach out to me and they wanted to do a video together or something. So I'll get it figured out. But there's one more super chat. I don't like missing those super chats. I really appreciate that. Hang on here. Let me. All right. I have a question now. Any thoughts on China's Bitcoin hash rate dominance and how they could use Bitcoin to undermine the USD? Thanks, A. He's a Canadian. Good question, A. It goes back to me thinking that it's a good thing to have competition in currency. I think that there should be far more competition in currency, and I think that there should be a watchdog over all the currencies. You know, we should have a layer of internet money that isn't connected to any country that keeps a watch over all the countries. Like, how beautiful and elegant would that be? I think Bitcoin has been evenly distributed enough. I know that their mining operations are over there, but I think mining operations are starting to pop up in other places as well, pretty rapidly as well. I would be hard pressed. Here's the thing. My capabilities of understanding that complex of a question, of having all of the dominance over in one country, it's not there. But what I can say is somebody along the lines of Michael Saylor, who has a whole team of people going over, should we put $5 billion of the company's capital in Bitcoin? $5 billion. All the people at Tesla, these are some of the most intelligent minds in the world. All the people that didn't drop out of college like I did. But all of those ones that went to the fancy colleges with $200,000 a year educations, those guys all work for MicroStrategy, and they work for, Tesla. Ironically, both those, well, I think Michael Saylor isn't a dropout. He got through at MIT. But those individuals would be looking up a question like that and be very concerned if they had all of the control over there. I think that there is information that they know that would make them comfortable to make that kind of an investment to the tune of billions of dollars in Bitcoin. I think that the disbursement of Bitcoin is going to start getting widened. Yes, if the mining operations are over there, but the Bitcoin themselves are held by individual investors like that, I would imagine there being a major movement to making more mining operations in more places around the world. It's just a matter of how distributed are the Bitcoin becoming, and where are the Bitcoin held in bulk. As more of them hit the open market, I think it's going to get distributed more wide. But it's my hope, and I put my money where my mouth is, that it works. And I don't think Bitcoin dominating as a currency is a bad thing at all. Because if I think to myself, what's the perfect currency of the world? What's the perfect future of money? You'd want a closed loop system. You want a closed loop system where it ends at a finite number. So at 21 million, it ends. There will be no more Bitcoin. That's it, period. You would want it to be not connected to any country, not connected to the dollar, not connected to the euro, not connected to the yen, not connected to the CAD, not connected to any currencies in the world, and just be its own layer. And if anybody didn't trust their currency, like the one that's just diluting ours, you put it into that layer. And then that layer eventually would imagine this layer, say it's Bitcoin that succeeds. Imagine Bitcoin at that layer got to, let's say, 100 trillion on their valuation. Then it's actually a real, it's a real currency. And then if it's at that level, imagine it got to even more than that. I don't even know what the number is of 100 trillion times 10, a quintillion. I don't know but whatever that number is, if it gets to that number, it'd be like the watchdog. It'd be the watchdog. Well, how much assets do you really have in your country? How much gold and silver do you really have? How much is your economy really producing? Not all the fake stuff that you digitally injected, Powell. How much is your economy really producing over there? If I'm just pretending like if Bitcoin was a person, that's what I want it to become, is something that keeps the checks and balances, something that keeps watch over everybody. Like, how much are you really producing over there? What's your economy really doing? Because what an economy is supposed to do is make stuff and trade stuff. And our economy used to be really good, really, really good. We'd make a lot of stuff and we trade it. We made really high quality stuff. We don't make anything anymore. We just consume. We're a consuming economy in the United States. We just consume, and everybody just gives us free stuff. And how much longer do they put up with that? I don't know, but I want Bitcoin to succeed for that reason, because if that did happen, the dollar would, in my personal opinion, crash. In that scenario, the dollar would inevitably crash because people would realize, oh, it's back to nothing and they're in debt. Oh my God, I wouldn't even rent them my house. Like, no way. You can't even rent them a Tesla. Don't rent Powell anything. They're in debt beyond repair. your guys' credit lines are terrible. Don't be talking to me about my credit lines. Those credit lines over there, they don't even know how to balance a checkbook. I don't think pretty sure they have a kindergartner's education level in economics, but what do I know? I'm a dropout. But that's just how I feel about it. You don't hold it, you don't own it. All right, sorry guys. If you don't know from my live streams, if you're in the comments, I don't put the slow mode. I could put the slow mode on. I don't do that. I don't have a moderator. I don't turn anybody off on the thing, because even if somebody doesn't like me in there, let them speak. You know, let them do their thing. I don't believe in silencing any comments or anything like that. So if there's somebody that's like overdoing it and spamming in there, I guess we'll mute them. But you guys make the decisions in the comments over there. But all right, we've done about 45 minutes in here. My timer is officially all the way out on the my sand timer over there. It's getting late. It's almost midnight over here. Maybe we gotta call this one a stream. I wanted to test out the live stream. I actually went to Instagram and showed people my setup on Instagram. If you go to @RobSultan on Instagram and follow me there, I got a little Instagram. I do some exclusive content over there and showed what my new setup looks like on the Instagram. So let me know what you think on that. If you click the story on my Instagram, I would appreciate it if you follow me there. If you're not a subscriber on the channel, please do click the subscribe down below, or maybe it's in the video somewhere in this area over here, or somewhere over there. I think maybe it's right there. You click that subscribe, and then if you click the bell and all notifications, you'll be notified of all future live streams. And I'm going to be doing these like once a week, twice a week, maybe 5 times a week. We don't know. Sometimes I just get excited at midnight. It happens. But I appreciate everybody so much for being here. And I wanted you all to know that I didn't need somebody to sponsor me for a new live stream setup. I love you guys so much that I'm just going to go drop whatever amount of money is needed to do a new live stream, get a dedicated computer here, get the Ethernet thing dialed in, and now we got it back online. Seems like it's going smooth. Seems like we're doing good on these live streams now. So I'm excited about being able to do these. I want it to be, now I got this, I guess this Stream Deck thing. I can just have this thing over here and I just go boop, and I can actually start like toggling between things and whatnot. So I'm excited about learning how to use this. But you got to remember, I am a squirrel, so there's a bit of a learning curve for a squirrel. It is what it is. But thank you all so much again for being here. Really, really appreciate you. And again, if you have not subscribed, if you could smash the like button before we all head out, would really appreciate it. We're up to actually 152 likes. Pretty good. Pretty good. I was going to say, you know, if we get to a certain amount of likes, I'll flip the timer and we'll stay live for another 30 minutes. But then if I do that, I'll probably be in here till like 1 in the morning, and I don't want to keep everybody else up. I don't want to spread my insomnia on everybody else. We all got to get a little bit of sleep under our belts. So let's keep doing these live streams, and I promise we'll start doing them a little bit earlier, other than that starting at like 11 o'clock. I just really wanted to test this new software here. Thank you for putting up with all of my ranting and rambling. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Get some sleep, and I will see you at the next video. Signing out.